recording. So welcome everyone. Today is July the 20th, and this is our Whole Life Healing Program with Dr. Alex Loyd, Dr. David Peck, where we can be talking about deep waters, a subject on deep waters, or all lives matter, which this particular program is all about. My name is Johanna Chan. I'll be assisting them a bit today. Before we hear from them, though, we want to share this disclaimer. This presentation is for education and informational purposes only. And since we're going to be talking about issues of health and well-being, we wanted to make sure that you understand this information is not intended to heal or cure anything. Everything in the presentation are the opinions of Dr. Alex Loyd, Dr. David Peck, myself, or you if you choose to share. You should always check with a licensed healthcare provider about any specific health concerns you may have. All right, guys, take it away.
Thank you so much, Johanna, and welcome everyone. I'm Alex Loyd. Very briefly, this is in the middle here is Dr. David Peck. David is a double board certified surgeon at Columbia Presbyterian in New York, was a professor there for over 20 years, 50 clinical papers published, 4 United States patents. He's about as high as you can get on that traditional medical doctor ladder, but that's not why he's here. He's here because he is a wonderful, humble man who wants everybody who possibly can to be healthier and happier. And he's willing to spend some of his extremely valuable time for free to help you do that. And the best thing for me is he has become a close friend of mine that I dearly love. Much like Johanna Chan, who is here also, who's been a close friend of mine for, it's got to be 16, 18 years now. David's much newer to me than that, but still a very wonderful man and dear friend. Okay, this week, the topic is gossip. And oh man, this is another one of those hidden gems, okay? When I would get a client who was gossipy, and I could usually tell that pretty quick with just a few questions. Also by what they said, you know, when they told me about their life and people in their life and stuff like that. I would usually know a couple of things. Number one, they had an inferiority and usually identity and worth issue, okay? Number two, they were possibly trained that way growing up by other people that they were around, either their family or kids at school or whatever. But if it's the second one, if it's that they were programmed that way, typically once they get to a certain age, if they don't have the inferiority or the self-worth stuff, they'll stop the gossip. If they do have the inferiority and self-worth issues, the gossip will continue. And even if they haven't been programmed, if they have inferiority and self-worth issues, they'll tend to gossip, even if they were not trained or programmed that way. All right. So gossip, as you might guess from that, to me, grows out of inferiority and self-worth and identity. In other words, believing something about yourself that is not true, that you do not have really good identity and worth, when in fact, I believe you do. Whether you believe that or not, I believe you do. Now, that's a longer conversation, okay? But the thing about gossip in the Bible, which is one of the most respected documents in the world, I think it's the top-selling book every year over the #1 New York Times bestsellers. They don't tell you that, but I believe it is, at least most years. One thing you may not realize is gossip is listed in the same sentence with murder. And there's no distinction made between, oh yeah, of course, murder is a much bigger deal. No, Nothing like that is said. It's like murder is wrong, gossip is wrong. They're right there. I mean, and the interesting thing is, as human being, residents of this planet, we would not typically say that. Okay, we just wouldn't, most of us, but it tends to be true. Okay, gossip has at its root not only the inferiority, not only the self-worth issues, but a comparison issue where, and under comparison is judging other people. Okay, so the inferiority and the self-worth issues, that's true. But what those cause in us is to compare ourselves to other people. Maybe John, I feel superior because of, things in his life. I'm not superior, but maybe in my own mind, at least with John, I can make a case that I'm superior. With David Peck, I'm inferior, big time. Don't even come close to David Peck, all right? So for David Peck, if I can bring him down a few notches, either truthfully, he cheats on his wife, or he cheats on his taxes, or he was mean to a dog, or I don't know, whatever, all right? If I can bring him down a few notches, it makes me feel better about me, okay? And that's why I'm doing it. It's to feel better about me for the inferiority and the self-worth issues. But what that causes is comparison and judging, where either consciously or unconsciously I go around and I'm constantly, it's like automatic, comparing myself. Okay, that person's better looking than me, so that makes me feel worse about myself unless I can bring them down a few notches. That person, I think I'm better looking than, so I feel good around them, okay? But ladies and gentlemen, that's all bull. That's all baloney, okay? We don't have identity and worth because of our looks or because of our credentials or degrees or what we do for work or any of that. Our identity, worth, and the truth about us, meaning not inferior or superior, is just what John Kennedy said in his famous inauguration speech. We're the same. Now, he didn't say we're the same. He said we have so much in common. We all breathe the same air. We all want what's best for our children. Okay, we've got a lot more in common than we do differences. Okay, I believe every one of us is fantastic, not better, but also not worse. So if you have self-worth issues, if you have inferiority issues, if you find yourself comparing yourself to others and judging and feeling good about the ones you think are better than you being brought down, and feeling good around the ones that you feel are inferior to you, or whatever, if you find yourself gossiping and stuff, I believe that's what's going on. So instead of just gossiping, if that's an issue for you, use it as a flag saying, hey, you need to work on identity and worth. You need to work on inferiority. You need to work on gossip. You need to work on comparing yourself to other people. And you need to work on judging and quit judging. I don't know what's in their heart and mind. Only God knows that. So my job's not to judge. My job's to love, regardless. So that's my 2 cents, Dave. This was your topic, which is a great topic. What do you have to say?
Yeah, actually, honestly, when I started thinking about the topic, I wasn't sure what to say about it. And I didn't have much to say about it, but kind of realized that somehow it seemed like it was a negative thing and a negative emotion. And so, but hearing what you had to say about this today really brought two main examples up for me. And one was, dealt with surgery residency. I mean, there was like a tradition every morning to have a breakfast gossip session. And, and here we're constantly judging other residents, and everybody is constantly judging. The other one has to do with my parents, and I hadn't thought about this until, Alex, until you mentioned the comparisons, is that, oh my God, we were all about comparing. They were all about comparing siblings, like me to my brother and sister, but to other people's children, and it was always like, oh, what was Johnny doing, or Dr. Chun's kid doing? He went to Harvard, and she, it was like constant, we were talking about toast and boasting, but it was like a lot of constant comparisons, so, and just gossiping. So, and here's I had a question, Alex, for you also, is sort of comment is that there could be also positive gossiping. Like, I don't know if we would call it gossiping. Maybe we wouldn't call it gossiping. We call it just being truthful about someone. You could tell the truth about someone. Yeah. And then the other thing is, like, I just wanted to make the point of that just the statement itself, because I looked it up online just to get an idea of what the definition was for gossiping, but it was specified more into something that was like personal or private, some secret that you were revealing on somebody.
Yeah, right.
So what I want to say is, though, is that the particular piece of information, and this goes back to intention. This is a point that I'm trying to make, over and over again, is that the information itself is not the sin or the harm or the damage or whatever. It's the intention with which that information is being given. So, I'll make a thing. I'll say, okay, porn addiction. Okay, my porn addiction, it's like, if I told it to you, then I would be sharing it with you, and it would be okay. But if someone else was saying, hey, oh, good, hey, Dave, listen, Dave has this porn addiction, blah, blah, blah. That's where it's the difference. So anyway, I just wanted to make that point. And then I also wanted to make, a couple of points about my career and my credentials, because you brought those up a couple of times. I guess I'll make them now, but so, I would consider my career, and I'm in retired state now from the university, as a respectable career. I did all the things that Alex has mentioned, but it was unusual. It wasn't the traditional path. So I was doing vision science as a general surgeon. I had my board certification. It was separate. So in other words, usually a person would do their research in the same area that they were clinically, involved in, that kind of thing. But the point I'm making, though, is that that's the way my mind works. It's not a traditional, it doesn't work in a traditional class. And I think that's also part of the reason why I'm open and, open to this type of medicine, this energy medicine, and the effects that it has. Because, honestly, I don't want to be critical of the whole system, but most of us are very conformist. I mean, that's the reason we get to where we are. We're good boys, the good boy, good girl syndrome, that we talked about.
At least publicly, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But you have to be able, and Alex is an example. He's someone who's taken a different path and gone off the road, and I'm the same way, and I support that. And only time will tell. We believe it. I 100% believe in this because I've experienced it, and we're trying to convince you all to give it a try and get that same experience and the benefit from it. So anyway, join us. I'm so honored and so blessed to be able to do this, actually, Alex, because to be able to have a say and to be able to support what I truly believe in. So anyway, that was my 4 cents or whatever.
Well, thank you. And I would say, I would not call the positive version gossip. I would call the positive version love. I mean, the positive version is I'm talking to Hope, maybe my wife, and say, I don't know, something like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that would be a good example. Hey, Hope, did you know that? Did you know that Dave? I don't know. Maybe we live on the same street or something. Did you know that Dave was sick and hadn't been feeling very good, and his wife died, and his sons are living somewhere else? How about we go get him a really nice dinner somewhere that he likes, and bring it to him, nice and hot and everything at dinner time, to help him and encourage him. And I think if we're looking for truth in order to help a person, that's what I would call the positive. To me, gossip is looking for a truth, or sometimes an untruth even, or you take a little truth and sort of twist it to where it comes across really negative. But that one is to hurt the other person, or maybe that's not in my mind. I'm not thinking of hurting them, but unconsciously I'm doing it to benefit me, not them. Okay. So to me, that would be the difference in who it benefits. If it's gossip, it's to benefit me and maybe even to hurt you. If it's to help you, that's the positive. What would we call that? What would that be? Encouragement? I don't know. But it would be, to me, the love-based opposite of gossip, kind of the brother sister to gossip, but on the positive side.
It'd be like, wow, did you hear about Alex Loyd and his new trilogy?
Right. Yeah, sharing, rejoicing with someone who's rejoicing, feeling good for them because they had something happen, rather than a lot of us with people that we judge, we feel better when something bad happens to them.
Yeah.
Well, this is feeling better when something good happens to them. Big difference. So, and that might be a way you can tell. Do you rejoice? Do you want good for this person? Or do you really secretly kind of hope they stumble a little bit? And that makes you feel better. If that one, you're judging and probably have the self-worth, the inferiority, the whole deal. If you're doing the positive one, you probably don't have that. You probably are pretty love-based, and you're on the right path, and you're going to help people like you're thinking of helping this person. So to me, that's kind of the difference. I'm not really sure the exact word to use, but all right. You want to do the intervention, Dave?
Yeah. I'm going to use the universal code for this. Okay. All right. So we pray, we request that all destructive, negative cellular memories, unhealthy habits, addictions, false limiting beliefs, any relationship issues related to systemic gossiping be found, opened, and healed through love, light, truth, and God.
Amen.
Okay, we're going to use universal code. The first position is both hands in the bridge position. The universal code can be used pretty much for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Second position, both hands in the Adam's apple. Third position, both hands in the jaws. Fourth position, both hands temples. Feeling gossiping and everything related to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, both hands bridge, second cycle. Both hands Adam's apple, second position. Third position, both hands jaws. Fourth position, both hands temples. Back to position one, both hands bridge. Okay, that's 2 cycles.
All right. Take a deep breath from your stomach. And then let's go straight into a custom trilogy for this issue. So first section is acupuncture points. Let's start with collarbones, temples, chin, thumb, under the eyes, middle finger, under the nose, middle of the chest, thumb again, under the eyes, sore spot, side of the hand, and 9G. Eyes open, closed, open, down to the left, eyes down to the right, circle your eyes, circle back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, both hands brainstem for about 60 seconds. Slow, deep breaths from the stomach. All right, let's activate governing and conception vessel 4 times in a row, please. Yin and yang. According to the research, this calms the central nervous system, and you can use it anytime for that, just by itself. Okay, custom healing centers. Let's start with forehead. Please open and harmonize. Throat. Please open and harmonize. Base or root on the pubic bone. Please open and harmonize. Heart. Please open and harmonize. Forehead again. Please open and harmonize. Under the belly button, please open and harmonize. Crown, please open and harmonize. And last one, right in the middle of the stomach. Please open and harmonize. Hands over your heart. Slow, deep breaths. Let it process. I would do this for about 60 seconds. And then I would check it again, your 0 to 10, in about 30 minutes. It works at 100% for about 30 minutes. And then when you're ready, take a look at the 0 to 10, make a note, and open your eyes.
Alex,
Yes.
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How do you know that it works at 100% for 30 minutes?
Well, when we tested it with HRV, heart rate variability,
Yeah.
We would test at intervals. The first time I tested with heart rate variability with the healing codes, I'd already been testing about a year, primarily with acupuncture points. So when the healing codes came along, I switched to testing the healing codes, and we would test immediately. We would test usually 30 minutes later, and then we would test 24 hours later.
Yeah.
And most of the people with the healing codes were still in balance 48 hours later. So that's where I got into that.
Yeah.
And,
Based on HRV. Yeah.
Yeah, based on HRV and the test results.
Nice, nice.
Okay, lovely. Johanna Chan, do we have any questions, comments, anything at all? And Johanna, you're one of the most brilliant people I know in this area. We need comments from you on the topic as well, if you're willing to share any of those.
And it's interesting you just asked that, because the whole time when you guys were talking, I thought, well, edify is a word about.
Very good. Yes, that's it. Very good.
Yeah. So, okay, we have one hand up, and it's April. April, I'm gonna open up your line. So there you go, April.
Hi, April.
I cannot believe I accidentally missed the call last week, and I thought I'd missed it today. And my question is, how do we? So I just missed the code just now, and how do we access that, or how do we go and find those? I'll write that down.
Johanna, do you know? I don't know the answer to that, but I do know these are all posted where you can listen to them anytime.
Yes, they're on YouTube. All Lives Matter.
Okay.
Yeah, they're always going to be posted there. Santo puts them up pretty quickly.
Yeah. So YouTube, All Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
I guess I'm sorry.
Go
and
ahead.
then we're supposed to about I'm so sorry that I missed the first part of the call. So I'll have 0 to that'll pertain. But so to find out about the affiliate, I don't know if that got fixed for the Halo stuff. Go to, what was the address I got?
Well, this has nothing to do with the affiliate or anything else that has to do with anybody paying money. Everything we're doing here is free. So
Okay.
I would just go to our main site if you're interested in that, which is dralexanderloyd.com.
Okay, but is there what is, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this question though. I was trying to find out, I can't access my affiliate, and I can't remember what she said to.
Okay, I would just send a note to support@thehealingcodes.com, and they can answer that question. I would answer, I don't know the answer. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And guys, I'm going to have to bug out. David, I think you said you were going to hang around a while.
Yeah. I'm going to stay. Yeah, I'm going to stay for these. Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful. Well, I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I see you next week. Thank you.
Love
Okay.
you, Alex.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording.